Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the new Londonette Club, located on the other side of the track, the Black Bottom track. The incomparable, the dynamic, the super indifference, Prince Kelly.
This gonna be good. Thank you anyway, but this gonna be good. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Did you hear that word he called me? Super in what? Well, I'm in it. Whatever super is, I'm in it. Yeah. I would like to stop and talk very seriously with you tonight on a subject that has worried me for quite some time in my life. However, tonight I have taken the opportunity to discuss it with a group of people, sensible people that is. I would like to talk to you on a commonly used word daily, shit. Now let's get down to business. Not really, honest to goodness. Let's get down to the real shit. Now shit, for instance. The world's full of shit. And you don't pay any attention to the shit you run into every day. Which causes me to come to one conclusion. The greatest thing in the world today is shit and death. Yeah. You see, when you stop shitting, you're going to start dying. But I mean, it's true. Let's face it. You know, and every time you turn your head or any other thing you turn, you ever turn the thing other than your head? You didn't? You never turn no tricks. Well, that's all right, but we talking about turning your head today. Of course, you have to turn your head sometime to get in the place where your head's supposed to be. Let's take another commonly used word. Fucking. Now repeat after me. Fucking. Now, you see, if the word has two syllables, that simply means it takes two folks to fuck. You ever fuck by yourself? Well, goodness, what in the hell is going on there? I thought we had fuckers in this crowd here tonight. See now, but I tell you what you can do. You can walk out in the goddamn street right now. A bunch of these so-called son of bitches that call themselves high-class, sophisticated, and all that sort of shit. You walk out amongst them son of bitches, amongst a bunch of them son of bitches, however it goes. They all son of bitches. I suppose you walk out in front of a goddamn bunch of them, the first damn thing they say, if you say fuck, they'll holler. Oh, my God. He said a cuss word. Maybe you did. But if fucking's a cuss word, then there's another word going to be added to the cussing list pretty soon. Sucking. You know, well, now let's face it. There's a lot of sucking going on through this fucking situation. That's nasty, ain't it? Well, that's the best way to get clean. Well, but here's what I'm trying to hip you to, is this. Folks been fucking ever since I've been in the world. I believe they fucked before I got here. My folks fucked around and fucked up on me. And I'm gonna fuck up on somebody else if I can. Course, now let's get down to the sucking situation in this damn thing like we was talking about before. You ever hear somebody say, that old motherfucker keep running around there, looking, peeping, conniving, sliding, trying to find out what I'm doing. The motherfucker don't know. I'm fucking right on his goddamn nose and he don't know it. Now that's a motherfucking lie. Now that's a motherfucking lie. If a son of a bitch fucking under your nose, you got to know it because that's in your motherfucking mouth. You got to know that. So you see what I'm pointing at? That fucking thing, boy, I better leave that thing alone. Yeah. Coach, folk been fucking one another. I know those fella one time, this is the truth though. I wouldn't tell no lie among friends like yo. I know the motherfucker had a goddamn cow worth $25,000. The cow named Beck. He had an old lady named Bessie. And every time he fucked Bessie, everybody in the neighborhood heard him hollering, "Oh, baby! Ooh, honey!" and shit like that. So she turned right around. She said, "I know what I'm going to do. I ain't going to give him no more pussy." You see what it was doing? It was embarrassing her. Every time she walked out the door, people laughing, talking about, "Ooh, girl, she must have put that pussy on him last night. Did you hear him holler?" You know how we talk, you get on. So now what she decided to do, she gonna cut his pussy rations off if he keep on hollering. So he told her, said, "Honey, I realize you know how a man will do, boy, when his pussy get cut off." Shit, he'll say anything. he said, "Yeah, you know about that, don't you?" "Yeah, she been cutting all that small pussy." I ain't got anything to do with it. But you see, here what happened. He told us that, "Honey, you know that old cow I got out there, Beck?" She said, "Yeah." "That cow was $25,000. She said, "I know it." He said, "Honey, if I holler, I'll give you the cow." She said, "I don't want your goddamn cow. Go ahead and carry your ass on." He said, "Baby, I ain't playing." She said, "Okay." She'd been a fool not to take him up on a good bet like that. Went in the house by dusk dog. and she shot that thing to him. He laid around there and playing around, fucking around about, I guess, around 2-3 minutes. And boy, she tightened that thing up on him. And he said, "See there, baby? I ain't gonna holler." "Oh, baby. Shit, you know I ain't gonna. It's so good, but I ain't gonna holler." But I ain't gonna holler, though. Goodbye, Beck. Goodbye, Beck. So you got to watch that fucking thing. You understand? Hey. Now, she was one of the women that happened to have good pussy. You know, man, you're hollering like that woman got to have something good between her legs or on her shoulders, or, on the arm, well, wherever they keep it. Boy, I know some of them spread it all over the goddamn body. It's a good thing by being a man. Boy, we got advantage over these bitches. You see, we can always go back to the first piece we ever had. Yeah, all you gotta do, fuck your fist. Whoever heard a woman fucking a fist? I know some hoes can fuck themselves with the fist, but they don't be no bad stuff like that. But now, fellas, I'm just talking to the fellas now. I got a little something for the ladies in a minute. I got something for the ladies now, but they won't get it till later on. Yeah, it's getting to you. It's growing. Now, here's the way you tell when a pussy is shot. Yeah. Boy, when you can put this here finger up her asshole and that thumb in her pussy hole, and if you snap your goddamn finger, that motherfucker wore out. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? I'm trying to talk to you tonight, but you know what? Y'all hear me, but you ain't paying me no attention, I don't believe. I had a little old buddy who used to sit down there and sip the swamp and fuck flies. You heard of fly fuckers? Well, you probably heard of fellas fucking on the fly, but this is a fly fucker. Used to sit out behind the barn every day. Fuck flies. Skin his dick back. Fly right on the head, pop, shoot the cover back. Goddamn. That goddamn fly get to circulating around there, twixt that skin in the head, and it won't be long for the old boy to do a little something there. One day he out there fucking fly, goddamn yellow jacket. Goddamn yellow jacket lit on the head of that motherfucking pecker, boy. Whop! Down with the skin he went. Boy, if that goddamn yellow jacket didn't wear that motherfucker out in his big head. And when he got through, the little boy went to the doctor, and he stayed on the doctor damn near 6 months. Got out and decided he'd fuck flies again. Dick all right, you know. He decided he'd fuck flies again. Skin his dick back, fly lit on it, whop, shot the cover over it. Pulled it back again. A motherfucking bumblebee flew up there. He looked at him, he said, "Oh, you slick motherfucker. You think cause you done went home and changed clothes, I don't know your bad ass. You never get back on here again." Oh my God. Now that's an awful thing, but it ain't nothing like as bad as me and a fella went off. We didn't have no money. So we had to kind of, you know what you have to do when you ain't got no money? Just be broke. We stopped off at his house. We didn't have no goddamn where to stay, so we asked the man could we stay there for the night. He put the boy in the hall and put me in the bed with his retarded son. And boy, that motherfucker was retarded. They had one of these houses out in the country, and the shit house about 3.5 blocks was called a community toilet. 3 blocks down the hill, and you had to pass on the edge of the graveyard to get to the shit house. I come into having the shit later on that night. Wind blowing. Ain't hollering. I didn't go nowhere. You know, I pulled that boy's britches down and shit in him and pulled him back up on it. That motherfucker worried himself to death. Trying to figure out how the hell he shit in his britches and it didn't go through his drawer. You know what? When I was a little boy, I used to live in the community. You know how they used to have these stores on the corner? Boy, I sure wish I had something to drink. You know, when they had these houses, I sure wish I had something to drink. And we had these stores, I sure wish I had me something to drink. I like a pink lady. And we used to have a brown lady. We used to a white lady. And with these clothes on, you know, and they had a green lady. Anyway, I just want to drink in the damn body. I'm trying to get something to drink and tell this all at the same time. But we had these little stores on the corner, you see. And it's a funny goddamn thing. You never could understand what these motherfuckers were saying. We walk in there and said, "Mr. Tony," he said, or some old funny shit, you know. "I want a pound of bologna and half a dozen eggs," Mama said. And he, "A man go to the go there, man go, no matter still go there. But go there to the somebody go there to get who say no, we say no go there, man, who got scared go there and go top it when you taking you." And you said, "God damn, this motherfucker sound like I done ordered the goddamn stove." I figured out what was going on with them motherfuckers. They said the same goddamn thing we said, they just speed it up. All right. I walked in the store one day and the motherfucker standing around there hollering, "My daughter had to get it. My 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 daughter had to get it." I said, "What the goddamn hell is so exciting about that?" So I start slowing my ears down. And he said, "My daughter had to get it. My daughter had a dick in her. My daughter had a dick in her. My daughter had a dick in her. My daughter had a dick in her." The damn child that's pregnant, that's all. Ain't nothing to get excited about. Boy, we breaking this up or fucking this up or whatever we doing. We stayed we stopped off in a little town. I guess it's on the other side of Biloxi. And we sitting over there one day, didn't have a goddamn thing to do. So we looked up and see an ambulance coming down the road. We got in behind the damn ambulance. We followed the motherfucker on where it was going. That son of a stopped, and two ugly motherfuckers got out. Now listen, you talking about ugly. Now these motherfuckers were so ugly they could stick their head up a camel's ass and draw their hump out of his back. And that was just one side of his goddamn face. In fact, he had a mother lying on the back seat of the airplane that they'd come. Oh, that's another fella I'm talking about, though, ain't it? Listen, when we found out what was going on, they was having a funeral of an old lady that used to live in that community. And we all stood around there while they brought the old lady's body out. The goddamn town was so small they didn't even have a church. Had the woman funeral around the damn cow pasture. And had one of these city slicking ass preachers out there. You know them city slicking preachers. They're them 3C preachers. That CCC, the chicken, cash, and cock. You know. Yeah, they had that kind of stuff. And he started preaching the funeral. Right out there in the goddamn cow pasture by a tree. He been living in the city all his motherfucking life. He ain't never seen no kind of animals or anything. Now, ain't that something? He started praying for the old sister because some would be set up in the crowd and said, you know she used to sell whiskey. You better pray for her. You know how we talk. He got down on his knees. He said, God, I wish you'd come right down here this evening and bless this old sinful sister lying in the casket. God! You know that old sister has not been exposed to your righteous ways, so don't condemn her for her evil ways. God! I wish you'd come on down here right now, Jesus, because these folks paying me $32.73 to preach this goddamn funeral, and I got to do a good job. God! And about that time, he looked up the tree, and a possum was coming down. Old Rev said, God damn, what a rat! Let's get back to shit. Y'all like that shit? Boy, that shit all right. I saw two fellas about 3 weeks ago, and they were telling me about how the folk used to do back down in Muskogee County. You see, when you first got married, preacher had to marry you, you know. And whatever preacher marry you, he'd have to spend the first night with your bride. And now you want to know how I talk in that with shit? Because that is some shit, ain't it? But Reb would spend the night with the bride. So one night this particular girl got married. And, excuse me for that, but everybody cleared their goddamn throat. Shit, I don't see nothing wrong with clearing your motherfucking throat. If your throat ain't clear, well, goddamn, if your throat don't be clear, you just gonna let the motherfucker stop up? Shit. Looking at me because I cleared my goddamn throat. So, what it was, you make me sick. Goddamn, all these edits and stuff like that. Everybody talking about it. He don't act like this, he don't act like that. Goddamn, I'm what I am, and I don't want to be what I am with no stopped up throat neither. So, yeah, you will. You blow the whole damn thing. So, this fella fucked around and got married, and the preacher was going to spend the first night with the bride. They had a 9-room house. And it was cold as hell. This motherfucker sleeping out in the hall while the preacher sleep in the bedroom with his wife. Now, ain't that some shit? But that motherfucker started to get hip out there. It got cold. He stepped his ass up and said, hey, Reverend, I know it's a little bit out of the ordinary, but it's cold as a motherfucker out in this hole. So what about letting me come in there for a minute or two at least? The Rev said, well, now, you know we ain't supposed to have that. He said, I understand it, but if you don't say nothing about it, I give you my word, I won't say nothing about it. Rev said, well, you can sleep at the foot of the bed. That motherfucker got at the foot of the bed. No sooner than he started to doze off, that shit started. He heard the Reverend say, my. This is a lovely piece of material. What is it? He heard his lovely wife say, Reverend, that's my neck. Both men and women have those. Wasn't long before he heard the preacher say, these gorgeous little gadgets, you mind explaining them, my dear sister? She said, oh, Reverend, you should know those are my tits. Both men and women have them. Only women expand them more than men. Well, and a few minutes, Rev said, well, now, what have we here? A gorgeous little trinket. What is it? Oh, Reverend, that's my navel. Both men and women have those. And it wasn't long when he heard the Rev say, God damn! What the hell is this? That motherfucker said, that's my foot. It'll be there all night. You carry your goddamn ass to sleep. My soul. That's awful, ain't it? But these preachers are motherfuckers. They fuck a lot of daughters too. They don't give a damn. I remember when the damn preacher used to come through the neighborhood. You know, preacher used to drive them big old black Packers. Preacher used to drive cars just like gangsters. Coach, that's what they was. They just robbing on the other side of the goddamn fence. That's what they did. But now, old preacher used to ride through the alley where I used to live. Yeah, I was born in the alley. I was born in a motherfucking alley. What you got to do with it? Sitting there smiling at me, goddamn it, because you was born up on a hill, I was born in the alley. There's a heap of motherfuckers ain't been born yet. But boy, we keep fucking like we doing, they'll get here. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was talking about like when I was born up in the alley and different things of that nature. You would find that everybody in the neighborhood tried to get along with one another. And the reason people in the neighborhood tried to get along with one another is because if any shit started, the only protection we had was one another. Didn't have nothing to shoot with. Didn't have nothing to toot with. And if we didn't act like we were supposed to act, we wouldn't have nothing to poot with. I ain't lying. Time was hard. Shit, I remember when time was so goddamn hard, the Mississippi River didn't run but twice a week. I ain't lying. Boy, time was hard, motherfucker. I was 27 years old when I found out a chicken had anything other than backs and foot and asses. I used to come home. My daddy used to sit there and look at me, and he would talk all that old random ass talk. And old folk used to bring that shit to you about milk and fish will kill you. See, here what it was, them motherfuckers either didn't want to give you no milk or they didn't want you to have no goddamn fish. One of the two. So they slick on you. I'm glad things changed. But that was back in old days. You know, back when days like that, you had a whole lot of things were going on. And like fashions, for instance. I'm glad to see fashions where they are today. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. You see, I remember when women used to walk up to men and bow with class. Yeah. But now a woman walk up and bow and show her ass. You ever hear old men talking this old shit about, man, I tell you, it's a sin and a shame the way these young folks wearing these dresses so short. But that ain't nothing but shit. I'm 1,000% with you. I'm 100% with the fact that you wearing them short as it is, and I'm 900% with the fact of hoping I live to see the day when you don't have on a goddamn thing. Yeah. Boy, now that's when it gets good. Speaking of things getting good, here these two woodpeckers. You about to get good too. Here these two woodpeckers talking to one another one day. You know everything talking nowadays. Clothes even talk. I ain't lying. I went to this gal's house. Look here, I went to this gal's house the other night, and I went in there and opened up the wrong drawer, and I opened up the drawer to a goddamn bloomers and shit. And the goddamn thing was in there talking to one another. I said, ain't this a bitch? He goddamn, look here, the goddamn Brazil looked at the motherfucking panties and said, "Gone, you stinking asshole." But I have you to know that I hold up the thing that men admire. And the goddamn panties looked back up and said, "You rotten hoe, I'd have you to know that I hold up the thing that men desire." The nightgown looked down at him and said, "Why don't you bitches go to sleep, because I've been up all night." You know, getting back to them old days, you know. But people talk about the good old days, and they really were good old days. People used to live the hell they had to live in order to fuck. In order to fuck, well, you got to live to fuck. You can't get around that. Fucking is to live, and living is to fuck. Let's talk about fucking again. Yeah. I had a friend that girls used to be crazy about. I didn't know what happened to him, but when they had an autopsy on him, they said that they smelled fart around his chin. I noticed his jawbone was driven into his motherfucking brain. Speaking of farting, these two kids had a goddamn Putin contest. You know, people do any goddamn thing. Who ever heard of a Putin contest? Boy, these motherfuckers was poodles. Oh, boy, they got out there. And the way they tell who was the biggest poodle, they'd pile up a little pile of sand. And they'd sit out on the sand and poop. And they'd measure the sand. And the pile with the most sand knocked off, that's the best poodle. Little old gal kept getting on her pile. Whoa. Boy, she had knocked that goddamn pile to the ground. Little boy get down there, poop. He knocked half a pile down. He's a pretty good father. And he wondered how come she always won. He said, "Wait a minute. Let me look up your dress." Pull the dress up. He opened your leg. She opened her leg. He said, "God damn, no wonder you're using a motherfucking double barrel." Oh. He been cleaning one of them barrels ever since. You know, I often wonder about them old days. You know, back in old days when people used to give all these herbs and things. You know, I think that was something. You get the cold, or you come down with the flu, or you come down with the pneumonia. They give you some mini-weed tea. Good gracious alive. You know what mini-weed tea is? Mini-weed tea is cow shit. That cow shit boiled in water. Yeah, mini weed tea. That's what they used to call it. Now, can you picture yourself lying on a sick bed, down and out dead, and here comes a motherfucker with a cup of shit? Ain't that a gas? Your shit. Anybody's shit. Speaking of shit, we got a bunch of shit. It was just laid too, I believe. Really, to come to a serious side of our program, we often like to dedicate things to the serious-minded people. And thank you. And for you serious-minded people, we have something that's being brought to you. You know, we have a number of movements today, like the civil rights movement and, well, and et cetera, and so forth. But this is from the Bowel movement, and it was written by the Doo-Doo Brothers in Shit Plains, Arkansas. And believe me, this is pure shit, not a fart in the pot. So, what do you say we lend an ear right now to some splendid listening, I should say? The theme from Shit. Shit. Who's the man that says it's plain to hold a poop might bust a vein? To hold a poop might bust your heart, release that thing, go on far. Pootin', farting, breaking wind, it ain't no harm, so fart again. Yeah. Now holding the poop might make you split. Check it in the bathroom, you might have to shit. 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 Shit.